Good morning, campers. My name is Miss Jessie. I'd like to welcome you to the Art Express Summer Camp Online. Get ready for a fun-filled week of art, learning, and fun. Let's get started. Okay, campers, now it's time to learn the name of our artist. His name is Seurat. Now, if you notice, he's covered in dots, and I'll explain more about those dots in a little bit. But as you know, we always have some sort of silly or funny kind of dance or movement to help remind us of his name. So you're gonna put your hands up like this, and it's gonna be like you're making little dots in the air, and we're gonna go dot, 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 Seurat, dot, 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 Seurat. And we can do it slowly, dot, 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 Seurat, or super fast, dot, 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 Seurat. Okay, again, his name is Seurat, and we're gonna do that all week long, so you will definitely remember his name, Seurat. So let's start on some of the details about Seurat's life. So, he was born in France. Do you know where France is?
I can't find France, can you? I can't find France, can you?
I can't find France. Can you? I can't find France. Can you?
I know where France is. You just go across the Atlantic Ocean, and it's right here. There's France. Okay, so to remind us about France, we've got the Eiffel Tower, because he was actually born not just in the country of France, but in the city of Paris. And we have the flag, blue, white, and red, which is the opposite of how we say our colors, red, white, and blue. Another fact about Seurat is that he loved the science of colors, so he read a lot of books about color. Also, he didn't like to mix his colors, so he liked to keep his colors separate. So all of these separate little circles, he didn't like to mix these up. He wanted to keep them apart from each other. So he liked to keep his colors separate. Also, when he would do a painting, he would often draw pictures before he actually did the painting. And we'll talk a little bit more about where these pictures are on an actual painting, but you can see these are some black and white pictures here of a dog, a lady and a man, and then a little girl in a white dress. And then the last thing I want to tell you about Seurat is this is an example of his most famous painting called Sunday Afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte, which just means the big bowl. And you can see here, this is kind of a closer up shot of Sunday Afternoon. He liked to use dots. Remember we talked about dots on his face? And then you can see it even closer. And then really close up, you can see all of those dots. And remember, he doesn't like to mix them up. He liked to keep them separate. And he called the technique of painting with these dots called pointillism. We'll learn more about that when we talk about our painting. Here's our painting, Sunday Afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte. So for the rest of the week, we'll just call it Sunday Afternoon. It's a little shorter and easier to remember, but I wanted you to know the full name of the painting. So this painting is covered in dots. The whole thing is dots. And that's the technique, as I mentioned a few moments ago, called pointillism. It's just putting dots all over the entire canvas. Now, Seurat spent 2 years making this painting. The actual painting, this is just a poster, but the actual painting is 10 feet wide and 7 feet tall. So that's a really big painting. And oftentimes what Seurat would do before he started a painting is he would draw pictures. And I mentioned that before too, that he liked to do just the black and white pictures so he could get ready for doing something really massive like this. So let's look at this painting and see some of the things that we can find. So we see people at the park enjoying a Sunday afternoon. Now, I want to point out to you, a lot of these people have umbrellas, which might be sort of a strange thing, and there's even a lady out here in the water, to have an umbrella on a sunny day. But years ago, people would use an umbrella to block themselves from the sun. So whether it was a sunny day or a rainy day, they always carried an umbrella. Some other fun things, of course, are the dogs. I love dogs, so I see a dog here, there's a dog here, and there's even one hiding here kind of in the background. Another kind of cool thing in this painting is we have the lady walking a monkey. I don't know too many people who have a monkey for a pet that they take on a walk to the park, but she did. And as you can see, there's water all around this. So remember I said it was called On the Island of La Granja. So this has water all around this. And we have some people, there's a boat, some people rowing a boat. There's also two soldiers. And then here's a guy playing a horn. So you have a copy of Sunday Afternoon in your supply kit. So you can take a few moments, look at that a little bit more closely. And then on our Facebook page, Ask an Adult if you can say some things that you found in this painting that I didn't even mention. So now it's time to learn about the color wheel. Let's go. So here's our color wheel. I want to tell you a few fun things we're going to be doing with the color wheel. One, each day we're going to have a team member tell you 2 colors of the day, and they're going to share those in French because Seurat was from France, so of course he spoke French, so we're going to learn the colors in French. Also, on Friday, our last day of camp, we're going to do a special Zoom call. And on that Zoom call, I'm going to ask you to gather a bunch of things that are each one of these colors. And the camper who gathers the most items and can say all the colors in French will win a free art kit, which is super cool. Now, there are a couple rules to that game. You can't get 50 red Legos or 30 orange crayons. It has to be different things. So it would have to be a red Lego and a crayon. Those would count just as 2 items. So make sure you're not trying to just gather 50 blue straws and have that count as 50 different things. All right, let's get into the color wheel. So our primary colors, our big strong colors, are red, yellow, and blue. If we mix red and yellow, we get orange. If we mix yellow and blue, we get green. And if we mix blue and red, we get purple. Let's try these colors now in French. Now, I'm not from France. I don't speak French fluently, so my French pronunciation is not going to be perfect. But if you want to learn to say the colors a little more perfectly, you can get on your computer after you ask an adult, and you can look it up on Google Translate, and they can help you say the colors perfectly. But we're going to do our best here at camp, okay? So red is rouge. Rouge. You say that with me? Rouge. Also, in your supply kit, you have a little color wheel, so you can look at that. Orange is orange. Orange. Try it one time. Orange. Perfect. Yellow is jaune. Jaune. Did you try it? I know it sounds a little funny, doesn't it? Jaune. All right. And then green, we're not going to say that T. I'm even going to cover it up, and it's just there. There. Try it one time. There. Awesome. Okay. Blue is bleu. So you're taking the oo off the blue and just kind of saying it quick, like bleu. And then purple is violet. Violet. Try it one time. Violet. Perfect. Let's say them together. Rouge, orange, jaune, vert, bleu, and violet. You guys ready to create some art? Let's get started. Well, I've included a camper. This is Coco. Coco, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
So it's time to get into your supply kit again. Get into your day one supplies. So as we mentioned before, you'll need a picture of Sunday afternoon. You'll need your canvas, and then you'll need the paints bright blue, white, dark blue, gray, yellow, light green, and dark green. And it would be helpful to have them on 3 different spots because we're going to be painting 3 different areas of our painting today. So on this first plate, I have white, bright blue, and gray with 2 Q-tips. And then on this plate, I have dark blue, white, bright blue with 5 Q-tips. And then on this plate, I have yellow, dark green, and light green with the most Q-tips. This is 10 Q-tips, okay? So if you want to pause the video right now and get your paints poured, now would be the time to do it. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna push these out of the way, and Coco is actually gonna be the one doing the creating. Now, the reason why we're using Q-tips is because it's a way to get those dots, like we said Seurat loves, and it's a way to do pointillism, but remember I said it took him 2 years to do that one painting, and we don't wanna spend 2 years doing these paintings. So we're gonna use Q-tips and it covers a little bit faster. So let me move these paints out of the way. And I'm gonna show you the finished product actually. This is what you're working toward. This is what you're gonna create. We're not gonna do this all in one day. We're actually gonna do it over a few different days. So today we're just gonna work on, I'll show you on here. We're gonna work on the sky, the water, and the grass. Okay, now, when you're making your dots, you wanna get a little bit of each color because if it's just one solid color, that makes paintings really boring. So a little bit of blue, a little bit of white, and a little bit of gray. So when we do the dip, and I'm not mixing them up because then that's just gonna turn into all one color. Remember we said that Seurat likes to keep his colors separate. We're just gonna start doing some dots like this. And you're gonna fill in that whole section that says sky. Okay, I'm gonna hand over the Q-tip to Coco and let her get started on the sky. All the way over. If you feel like it's getting too dark, you can add more white, or if you feel like it's getting too light, you can add more of the blue. Okay, as you can see, Coco did the sky part of her painting, and she had it touch the water line here and touch the tree line there, okay? So now we're gonna just put this plate to the side because really we don't need those colors at this moment. And it's time to go ahead and start on the water. And again, this is with the 5 Q-tips, so it's a little bit more, it's a little bit bigger space for her to cover. And so now it's gonna be a matter of touching the sky, a little bit of where that tree line is, and right to where the grass is. If you go over that line a little bit, it's really okay. All right, Coco, you can go ahead and I'm gonna give you this so you can look and see a little bit about that painting. If your sky's looking too much like your water, then make it a little darker or a little lighter depending on how it looks. So you might want to add a little bit more dark to yours so that it doesn't look, yeah. Okay, all right, now, as you might be feeling, your arms and your hands might be getting a little bit tired. So Coco, as you know at camp, sometimes we take some little, just a little break to kind of get our bodies moving a little bit so our arms aren't so tired. So let's just open and close our hands a little bit, wiggle our fingers, stretch to the right, stretch to the left, front, back, shake it out. Do you think you're ready to do the grass? It's a lot. It's a big project. This whole thing needs to be covered in green and yellow. Can you do it? Okay, so again, we want to use light green, dark green, and yellow because it just creates more interest. It creates some shadowing instead of it just looking solid green or solid yellow. So fortunately, you now have the 10 Q-tips instead of just the 2 or the 5, but you do have a bigger space. Now, because you're just going up and down like this, you might even be able to trade off hands, right? Do it with your right, do it with your left, do it with your right, do it with your left. So you can try that because you're not really trying to, draw or write anything. You ready to do the grass? All right, let's get started. You want to make sure that goes up to your tree line and to your water. Yep. Oh, beautiful. Look how pretty that looks. So while you might be tired, it sure does begin to create a beautiful painting. Ooh, I like that extra yellow you added in there. Nice. You have bounced all over that painting. Now, do you want to add anything else, or are you good? You want to add any more yellow or dark green, or feel good about it? Yep. Yep. Okay. Perfect. Great. All right, you can put those Q-tips down. Well, I think Coco did a fabulous job. So as you can see, her sky touched her water and her water touched her grass. Now, yours doesn't have to look perfectly like this. In fact, I kind of hope it doesn't because I want everyone's art to look a little bit different. And hers looks a little bit different than mine. And again, that's a really good thing. So, I'm sure after making all of those dots, and Coco, you can tell us, are your arms tired? Her arms are tired. She actually went right-handed and left-handed a couple times. So it's now time to take a break, get a snack, and come back for one more tiny little project. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back. I hope you had a good little break. So now I need you to get into your supply kit and pull out this collapsible water bottle. Now, yours might be blue, like mine, or yours might be red, like Coco's. So the water bottles are representing the colors of the French flag. So the blue, we don't have white, but blue and red. So the cool thing about this is you can decorate this any way you want to. You're just going to need a Sharpie or a paint pen. Now, I did mine with a paint pen on one side and a Sharpie on the other. I don't know if you can see the Sharpie there because it's kind of dark on dark, but this is a fun thing, and I'm gonna give Coco, you can start decorating this however you want. And the cool thing about a collapsible water bottle is if you go for a bike ride or you're walking your dog, this is just a cool little thing that you could hook on to your pants. So do me a favor, friends, ask an adult and take some pictures of the canvases, or once you finish your water bottle, and post those on our Facebook page, because we would really love to see how you're doing, what you're making, and it would be so fun to share with each other. So I hope you've had a great first day of camp. Au revoir, and stay creative.